Alright guys, we're back for another first impressions video. So we're sticking with the brand Game of Spades. Game of Spades really has been a great brand for me, one of my favorite discoveries that I've made this year. So this fragrance that we're going to be talking about, the fragrance of the day guys, is going to be this one right here. This is called Game of Spades Opal. Now Game of Spades Opal is a nice fresh citrusy, floral and spicy woody fragrance, and it is inspired by Louis Vuitton's Lovers. Okay, so a $400 fragrance that you might be able to get your hands on for $60, fraction of the price nonetheless. If we have another fragrance that is another dub from the line, then we're getting Louis Vuitton Lovers for a fraction of the price. But as always, we'll go through our blind smell reaction, our unboxing, we'll go through our first impressions and see just how this one fares from the line. Here we go. It unboxed. Okay, they went with the nice kind of sparkly look to it. So if we get it unboxed, I like this white that they have going on here as well. Icy white with the gold. All right, get it unboxed. So presentation, really luxurious looking, really nice. I love what they did there as far as the presentation is concerned. Then we look at the bottle, went with the white with the gold emerald. Now all that's left for us to do is just test and see how this one is as far as the smell is concerned. Some of the main notes that we're going to be getting in this fragrance, we're going to be getting bergamot, lemon, we're going to get some jasmine, we're going to get sandalwood as some of the main notes in this one. So a really nice note breakdown, a really luxurious, I imagine a really vibrant smelling fragrance. Now all we have to see is just how the quality is. So we'll get this one undone and we'll get 2, 3 nice wide pressure atomizer. This one's filling up the air a whole lot. I can tell just by that. Ooh. This is really nice. Really nice. Really citrusy, but honestly a little powdery, a little bit kind of floral in my opinion. So it's not so citrus heavy as I thought it was gonna be. It is really nice, really luxurious, really vibrant. To me, it's really classy. This one is definitely giving really luxurious vibes to it. This one's settling down. You're definitely picking up on the fruity, citrusy nature. So it's not overly citrusy like you would get with like a lemon and bergamot. You're definitely leaning more into the fruity end of the spectrum with a little bit of a floral nature to it. So definitely picking up in the jasmine and the peony in here. But nonetheless, I really am enjoying the opening. This one has a really strong and loud projection as well. And as far as the comparison to Louis Vuitton Lovers, I mean, this is at least 90%. I don't want to always go straight to 1-to-1, but as far as accuracy, they got it down pat. This one definitely reminds me of Lovers, but this, as it's settling down, a little bit different, a little bit smoother. A little bit smoother, definitely really strong, I would say. Very loud, almost like there's an ambroxan in here. It's not marketed as such, but you could tell just by the loudness of it. I really am enjoying this one. So far we're 1 for 1. I'm really enjoying this. All right, we got a tester strip here, so we'll go a couple of sprays. We're not gonna need that much. We're only gonna go 2 sprays on the tester strip. Nice wide spraying atomizer. We're gonna let that sit down. Now as far as the Game of Spades line, I mean, that's what, 6 fragrances now. They've really done a great job. I've loved all of the fragrances that I've gotten my hands on from Game of Spades. I have Full House, I have Win, I have Wild Card, I have Moon, I have Boston, I have 2 others, and then I have more coming because I really enjoy these fragrances. Another thing, women have really enjoyed these fragrances too in my time battling them, in my time just having them in the collection. Women have complimented these a whole lot, fellas. So again, definitely Game of Spades is one of those, you know, dupe brands, inspired by brands that I put a strong stamp of approval on. Scent quality, projection, you know, and longevity even as well. And then compliment playing factor. All those things are factors and are attributes that are attributed to the brand. All right, now we take a whiff of this one as it settles down. Really floral, nice, smooth, powdery. Definitely picking up jasmine, peony, picking up a little bit of rose in here too, but rose done in the right way. See, rose is one of those notes, again, just like grapefruit, that not every rose-based fragrance really does it for me. Rose is one of those fragrance notes I had to kind of get my nose around. I had to kind of mature into appreciating that. But the way that this fragrance is put together, it's almost giving a little bit fresh out the shower, a little bit barbershop fresh with a little bit more of a fruity nature to it. But nonetheless, this one is really good. It's like, for me, I think of Louis Vuitton lovers, definitely. This one gives a slight bit, if you took Santal 33, made it a little bit more woody masculine. You get a little bit, I think that sandalwood is what's doing it right here, where it's giving a little bit like Gentleman Boisé too. You know, you're getting that fresh barbershop smell and a little bit of Burberry touch in here as far as the fresh powdery nature. So those are some other fragrances that kind of are in the ilk of what this one could remind you of. Obviously, the main fragrance is gonna be Louis Vuitton lovers, but I can pick up, these other fragrances that I've had my nose on where I can say, okay, I can see this fragrance kind of reminds me of, a Burberry touch. It reminds me of a Santal 33. It reminds me of a Gentleman Boisé because of some of the notes that are done in here and the way that the fragrance is blended. But nonetheless, I really am enjoying this. I'm really excited to get this one out and try this one out and see how people respond to this, how the masses respond to this one. So far we're 2 for 2. Last thing we have to do is test it off the skin. All right, we'll go 2 off the skin. The more I smell it, the more I'm loving it. Definitely, this is, and the more accurate it is. See that lemon, the lemon you're picking up here, especially when you are able to let it sit down after a while. So the lemon is not overly pronounced. You definitely are picking up on that. It gets muskier the more it settles down. You're definitely picking up on that sandalwood as well. All right. Pick up on that sandalwood as it dries down on the skin. Picking up on that musk, amber as well. So a really nice, warm, spicy, woody base. Nice, vibrant, fruity opening. Got a floral mid. So as far as layers, very accurately done as far as the layers are concerned with this fragrance. Really nice, well put together. Loud opening, but a little bit softer as it settles down. It's a little bit more subtle, right? So picture that when you first spray it, it's like, okay, this will fill up a room. But I imagine that probably the longevity is going to be moderate. Might have to respray this one. Another fragrance that kind of reminds me of that type of, quality or that type of longevity factor is like a Allure Homme Sport, where Allure Homme Sport is very loud in its opening, but Allure Homme Sport, especially the Eau d'Extrême, does not last you very long. This may be what this fragrance gives, just because when I'm settling it on the skin, one, it doesn't last. Like you can tell, the viscosity is not there on my skin. And then the longevity is like it's already kind of settling down. It's not as loud off the skin versus like a fragrance like, let's say, a fragrance like Mancera's Red Tobacco, for example, will fill up a room. You don't need but maybe 2 sprays, and you'll smell it on you even after taking a shower. You can smell it, you can see it, and it almost is hard to get it off. This one here, now I can imagine you'll smell it. It'll have a really nice yes. This would be a really effective office fragrance, or a fragrance where you're going to be outdoors and you don't want your fragrance to overly offend someone, but you do want a nice kind of smell and icing on the cake to your aesthetic. Nonetheless, another dub from the collection. Definitely another great release from the Game of Spades line. I'm loving this brand, guys. This is another double release, but that'll do it for today, guys. Again, appreciate all you guys for listening to, and if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the subscribe and the follow button so you get notified anytime I drop any new fragrance content. You can also join the memberships tab, and you can also drop supers in the chat anytime you get the chance to keep on supporting the channel. Let me know what other Game of Spades fragrances you guys want me to talk about on the channel. I'll get them done for you. As always, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good day. Much love.